Very beautiful Tuesday morning to you. 20 minutes past 9 this beautiful Tuesday morning. Dr. Michael is in the house. And if you're joining us for the very first time, this is Token Therapy right here on Blast Urban 98.3, your generational radio. Good morning to you, Dr. Michael.
Good morning.
It's yours. How are you feeling today?
Super fine. I think we need to just ask Islamia.
How are you doing today?
I'm very fine. You know,
The fast ends
I'm
in
good.
2 days time, Abi.
Yes.
2 days? Yeah.
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the party.
Yes.
Oh.
Islamia, I must really commend you because one
Yes.
day fast.
Like
When I'm
say
traveling,
when
I can't eat anything. Like when I was going to the east and it was like almost a whole day journey, I couldn't eat anything on that.
If
Till I
I
got
don't-
to my friend's house the next day. Was when I like put
I also
food in
don't
my
like
belly.
because then my stomach does this thing where it just gets like
get
disoriented, and
uncomfortable.
I'm also very scared that
Wow.
I'll have the urge to pee, so I
Yeah.
don't like to eat anything when I'm
I
traveling.
shut
also.
everything down with affirmation.
Everybody wants to act like they're emotionally mature, and we're seeing people. The question now is: are we an emotionally evolving society, or we just have people who are great at acting, or we have on the other end, you're just great at shutting out?
No, people are just overstepping their boundaries.
Okay.
There has to be a definition of boundary.
Mm.
And when you don't define boundaries very well,
Yeah.
you might overdo things. So as a worker, as an employee, you have to be able to define what your boundary is as an employee. And don't say because it's an era of social media, you can just say anything.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Or because you are thanks to Gen Z's, the society has come to understand or be aware of what mental health is.
Yeah.
But you cannot now say because you are a Gen Z that you just have to talk and express your mind. You have to be able to define your boundary. Millennials have issues with defining their boundaries. Gen Zs also have issues defining their boundaries. So I think with Gen Zs, there's still a little bit of emotional awareness. Whereas with millennials, there's like poor emotional awareness.
A girl was fired in an American that works for a store that is in the airport, and she was fired recently because she showed the process of how she opens the office door on her TikTok. Some people were coming on the internet to say the company was harsh. I was like, what do you mean you showed how
to
you
do
open the
the
door
door.
to the organization
They're giving people
on the internet?
something to work with.
When we say emotional maturity, how do we draw the line between oversharing and not oversharing in a place of emotional maturity?
No, I think it has to do with emotional awareness. We are still largely, and it's a global thing, many people are not aware of themselves, let alone be aware of the 4 components of mental health: thoughts, emotions, words, and action. In summary, when you become aware of who you are, it helps you to be able to comport yourself.
Okay.
And it also helps you to be able to know what content you should come up with and what content you should not come up with, what you should say and what you should not say. But don't also forget that what you say is a result of your thought, and your thought is a result of the information you feed yourself with. So the lady that showed us how to open the door into the organization, the problem started from the information she has been fed with down to her thought process.
Okay.
So you can easily tell that kind of person will have issues with identity crisis. Because that person is not able to define the boundary. What boundary do I have as an employee? You being able to define yourself helps you to know what you should do and what you should not do. The more you are able to define yourself, the more you know what to do and what I'm not supposed to do. To the point that whenever you are now giving instruction, it will be like a confirmation of what you already know. So I think what we are having today is we are having an increased number of identity crisis. I think we may look at Gen Zs as people who are emotionally aware, but I think that what we call emotional awareness in inverted comma, I think is an increased episode of identity crisis.
So we are dealing as a society where people don't know who they are.
That's the major issue. So unlike millennials who find it difficult articulating the inner pains that they have, Gen Zs who are seen as emotionally aware are actually articulating and crying out for help
verbally
and through their actions. Unlike millennials that don't know
that
how,
internalize
because they've
it.
been repressed. The fact that Gen Zs talk a lot does not mean that they are emotionally mature.
That I agree.
The indicator of emotional maturity has to do with those 4 components of mental health. Your ability to manage your thoughts so that it does not go haywire. Your ability to be able to manage your emotions so that it does not go haywire. When you are honey, you are honey. It's not that I'm not in control of me being honey.
Yeah. And
then your words and then your action. But the major obvious one is the words you say. Your ability to be able to control what you say. And you can actually be so playful and yet be able to control what you say.
So talking about this emotional maturity, now you see that there are some children that once something happens, they are able to like manage. All the adults will say, "How much, oh God," you know, they will always like, that's always something that they will say about them. And they become adults, and then people say the same about them, that this person is very emotionally mature. They handle situations really well. So is this something that can be taught, or is this something that maybe like you're born with a quality that you can have? Or like, when do you start to get to a point where you think that I have to be emotionally mature? And how important is emotional maturity itself?
And don't forget that a child is an expression or an extension of the parents. So that child that you are talking about, all you need to do is to look at the parents. One of them is like that.
Okay.
So we can call that one like nature.
Okay.
Then there is now the nurture, which is the environment. Part of nature is also temperaments. We have 4 temperaments of personalities, classification of personalities, sanguine, choleric, melancholy, phlegmatic. Phlegmatics will not talk, but you might mistake that for emotional maturity.
Yeah.
Until the person talks. Sanguines talk a lot, and you obviously know that they are not emotionally mature. Then cholerics, then melancholies. So we can talk about nature, nurture. And so if a child seems to be like very coordinated, you can link it to nature, one of the parents, and then nurture, which is the environment. The environment, if you live in a get inside kind of environment, you are likely and then
to present
like that. Then we also need to consider parenting. Parenting style also will help a child to become emotionally mature.
This is a very interesting conversation about people finding who they are and also the ability to control what you say.
A major reason why people are not so particular about their emotions is they don't know about the power of emotions. Your emotions, the state of your emotion today will determine how today is going to be for you.
The state of your emotion will determine how today is going to be for you.
Like, it will literally determine if opportunities will come to you, or if they will not. So I feel, and it will also affect your physical health, and it will also affect your productivity, your performance. So I feel that, and then the remaining part of the week, the remaining part of the month, the remaining part of the year. So I feel once people understand that emotions is not just I'm shouting, I'm angry, and then that's the end of it. No. Our emotions have tremendous impact on 2 things: our lives and our bodies. So if you keep on getting angry and you don't manage it, it's having tremendous impact on your body, your respiratory tract, your blood vessels, your blood pressure. Is having tremendous impact on your gastrointestinal tract. Is having tremendous impact on your digestive system. I'm deliberately mentioning those systems so that you will not say those. So the body does not function independent outside your emotions. They are all connected, and that's why if your emotions are high, you're excited, your blood pressure will go high normally, and then by itself will come down. But in a case where there's now something wrong with the blood pressure, it will go up and it's not going to come down by itself. And then the same thing with people who are asthmatic. When they are very excited. There's exacerbation of the respiratory tract is super excited, and then they start having asthmatic attack. So that tells you that there's a kind of connection, major connection, between your mental health or your emotions and your body.
So how do you begin to recognize emotional maturity? Do you have to be emotionally mature to recognize it in somebody? How do you know that it's different from somebody just, pretend or somebody that is just going through an identity crisis?
Just listen to them talk.
So it's all about.
It's a fine place.
It's all about them talking.
Yes,
it's a very fine place to. I know how it can, but can it make it classes?
Somebody says, "I can
Classes?
never,
Yeah.
I can never forgive." That tells me that you are emotionally
Immature.
And it's okay.
What if I say I can forgive, but I won't forget?
What if when you hear, what if when you hear women say things like men are trash?
But it's not in my place to judge you.
Okay, for example, what if like you say men are trash?
When you hear
or
women
are,
say things like men are trash,
or like when men
It's
say
emotional immaturity. Men are scum. Emotional
Men are scum.
immaturity. Women are not loyal.
women are not loyal. Emotional immaturity.
Yeah.
This I'm sitting uncomfortable on. I'm thinking about this conversation as from a place of. I've had to like just hear if you say a few things and I just know where your head is at emotionally.
Yeah.
And somehow I don't expect much from you. Yeah. How do I manage that feeling?
That is oh my God.
So you say certain things and I will not be surprised when you say them anymore.
Yeah.
I give you the grace that's the level that you are at, or that's the level of emotional maturity that you currently have, and I give you that grace. But how do I not become a person who is
snob?
Not a snob. A snob is I won't snob you, but
not necessarily snob as in I'm not talking to you, but like that
you shut down.
since you don't expect.
It's not like I'm categorizing you.
Yes,
how do I not put you in a position where I now limit my ability to see beyond you from that perspective?
That's judging the person because even you
I'm
too,
judging the person.
You too. We are all our emotional maturity is increasing.
It's increasing.
So you two, you are at one level. Not that you have gotten to the peak of it anyway.
Yes.
So that's you not. It tells me that even you two, you are not aware of your own level of emotional maturity, because if you are aware, how did you get there? By the time, one major indication of emotional maturity, apart from what you say, is your ability to be able to remove sense out of nonsense.
Yes. Ability to remove sense out of nonsense. Oof. That's a very something my father used to say. My father says.
So your ability to be able to accommodate people, tolerate people, is actually emotional maturity.
Sometimes,
so you're not doing, I'm better than this person.
Even, tolerating is a very strong word, which I kind of like sometimes. I feel like when we use the word tolerate, it means that you are uncomfortable with what they are doing, but you are forced to accept it.
No, you are accepting.
Let me even look at the meaning of the word tolerate again.
You are accepting that the emotional maturity is a journey. It's not somewhere you get to and then we don't have stairs above that. So emotional maturity is saying, okay, this is where this person is. I acknowledge that. At least I now know. What it should do for you is to help you to be able to know how to communicate with that person, how to relate with that person, but never how to judge the person.
I want to say something.
The same tap that really, I guess, to release cold water, end up releasing hot water.
True.
So this same person that tends to be speaking or yarning rubbish may, in the same breath, release or say something that is an answer to the question you've been asking.
True. So can we say that the average Nigerian, and I just want to take a jab at Christians, sorry. I'm going to take a jab at Christians. I'm sorry, Christians. Can we say the average Christian is emotionally immature because there's a culture of judging people among Christians?
I think you should say religious people. Not like Christians, because even with like
so
I think it's just there's usually. I was telling you about somebody that told me, that asked me, why are you not putting on the hijab? And I was like, it's hot, and she told me that it's hotter in hell. So I think religious people generally. I think you are saying it because of the angle of you're a Christian. So also from the Muslim part as well, there are people that will do that as a there's this judgmental thing going on.
There's a radio program I'll be going to on Monday, and I was thinking of what topic should I talk about. I said I'm going to talk about mind programming and behavioral change. So it has to do with mind programming, has to do with information.
Okay.
There's something particularly there's something about the information religious people are being fed with. So you will not be getting to the point if you talk about judgments.
Okay.
Because what the question you should be asking is, what information is that person
receiving?
being fed with that is making that person to behave that way?
That's you giving them
So
grace.
that's you giving them grace.
No, that is Islamia just being a teacher.
Because that's you giving. Because what would you say? There's some things
the
that
information that they receive is what has informed that
There's
belief
something
system.
But if is it possible that if you're emotionally mature, you can receive that information and process it differently?
In fact, at the level,
Because I mean, everybody, like,
at
if
the
you
level
go
of
to like the
emotional
churches or
maturity,
the mosque,
you might
they teach.
reduce the exposure.
You will reduce your
and-
exposure
Yeah,
to that
to that
information.
thing.
And that's why a lot of people are not, they don't really go to religious institutions again. They tend to like regulate it or keep away
Yeah.
because of there's something that, and really it's a major call to nowadays, especially for Africans who are religious, and it's a good thing to go to be religious to you know to know God and rest. But we need to revisit the content of the information that people are being fed with, because it explains why people behave the way they do.
The way they do.
So it could also be a function of the people feeding the information not being emotionally mature.
Yes, because you cannot give what you don't have.
I want to talk about the apology part, because you know when we say, "Oh, apologize, I'm sorry," and it doesn't really like do anything. So where do you also get to the point where how does emotional maturity play a show off in the way that you apologize to somebody, and what does like a healthy apology look like? It's just, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because I mean somebody can say something and they know that what I said before was wrong, and then because everybody's like, "Oh, what you said was wrong," and they'll just say, "I'm sorry," but they don't mean it. They don't mean that they are sorry. They just said because they want the peace to reign.
Yeah.
So it's like, so what does it look like? Because I'm sorry doesn't really do anything to take away from somebody that you have hurt, somebody that you have done something. The person will probably still remember. For a lot of people that have been hurt by some certain things that people have said, if you say "I'm sorry," it doesn't take that away. So how do you get to a point where you are apologizing like in a healthy manner, where you know that, okay, I did this thing, I'm really sorry about it, I am so sorry about this particular thing that I've done to you, you know, and the effect of that on the person that is being apologized to as well?
Yeah, people will always know when you are sincere and when you are not. That's number one. And number two is the person that is not sincere, it's not really the person's fault, because the person doesn't know the implication of not being sincere with your apology. Because when you are sincere with your apology, it does not only influence the other person, it also gets to influence you. And sincere apology comes from objective assessment of what happened. You have been able to analyze, separate, process what happened, and you have been able to come to terms with the role you played
In making that thing happen.
So if you don't have an objective assessment of what happened, you won't be able to know the role you played, and you will only be apologizing just because you are being asked to.
Yeah.
And when you apologize genuinely, it affects your mental health. There's a load is lifted off from your shoulder, or from your chest, and you feel lighter. You are able. There's more creativity. There's more happiness. It affects your physical health. It affects your finances and the rest like that.
And you know that this plays out a lot in relationships, or like friendships, where somebody does something, and because you're so convinced that I didn't do anything to you, but because you want to keep the peace, you're just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have said I'm sorry. I already said I'm sorry now. What's your own self? Your own is too much. I already apologized to you now. Sorry." I know that plays out a lot in relationship, and also, the conflicts in relationship where the way people handle conflicts in relationship, for example, where you are talking to somebody and you're telling them, "Oh, I don't like what you've done to me," and instead of them to take that as feedback, what they do is they do this silent treatment thingy. So there are people that instead of them to like maybe apologize for something they've done, they just decide that, "Oh, I'm not going to talk to you for a bit, so I'm just going to keep it to myself." Handling conflict as well, like being able to handle conflict. You know, how do you maturely handle conflicts in relationships, in friendships? How do you do that?
I would not lie. If you're already compromising your mental health, it's going to be very difficult apologizing to people. It's not about the person that offended you or that you offended. It's about the state of your mind. There's something already wrong. So you might also want to link it to that when people are not able to control their mental health, it will be difficult for them to apologize genuinely.
Control your mental health.
So mental health instability, not necessarily because of what happened, but generally because already the person's mental health
has been compromised.
Yes.
Somebody said something, and I saw that video, and I was like, no, this is a mindset that is wrong, but it's the reality. It says you cannot be living in Nigeria and want to do things right when the system itself is already rigged. The system does not favor you for doing the right thing. The system favors those who are able to rig, who are continuously, because the system itself is rigged.
Yeah.
So you trying to live a righteous life in a rigged system is you doing harm to yourself. And I was like, why would you? And I was like, I'm trying to see sense in what the person is saying, because I'm like, yeah, the system is corrupt, and you want to live right.
Yeah.
So living right is immoral. The moral thing to do,
it makes it look like
the moral
one
thing to do is to be
sense.
corrupt, to be able to take advantage of people, to do all those things, to to snitch on other people, choose yourself first. If you try to do right, you'll be the one that is immoral.
Yeah, you'll be the mumu.
Because the moral standard.
It's not even immoral.
Yeah.
Mumu, that's what you'll be.
And so I was like, so you can't do it right by yourself. You now have to ask yourself what is right and what is wrong in the system that we find ourselves. What is the right way to go about things? I posted a video yesterday, and I was asking people to tell me what is something they wish they had known before they got into doing radio. And somebody said something in the comments that they are shocked at how people would snitch on you, make you look bad because they want to win an award. And I was like, yeah,
people do that.
People did that, and we hear these stories of people like, oh, they didn't deserve that award. So
what award did they not give the person? Snitch award?
No, maybe in an award in the industry, for example.
Now got snitch on somebody so that you
can get the award. That happens. That happens, and then you begin to ask yourself, where does the truth lie? Is emotional maturity also has to be mixed or blended with your ability to navigate the waters, and also, bend where you need to bend and don't always be straight.
No, emotional maturity involves not mixing up community issues about the community and your own personal life.
Okay.
Your personal issues are different from the issues about the community, and you must be able to separate the two. If you mix up the two, then it's going to affect the development of your emotional maturity. You have to be able to separate the two. The two are not the same. You have to be able to look at what is happening to you in your life, not as a reaction, not as a result of what is happening in Nigeria. You have to be able to look at what is happening in your personal life as not differently, and don't look at it as a result of what is happening in Nigeria. Those of us that speak for Nigeria, we're not speaking for Nigeria because our lives depend on Nigeria. We are speaking for Nigeria because not that our lives depend on whether Nigeria will make it or not. Nigeria can decide not to make it, but we will still make it because there's a formula to it. So it is my duty as an individual to be able to look out for the formula to making it. And it does not involve rigging because the system is rigged. The first instance is the fact that you say that the system is rigged. It means that you believe that the system is rigged. So there's something wrong with your belief system.
For believing that the system is rigged.
And then believing that women are not loyal. Then you listen to a song. You listen to a song, and that song entered into your subconscious. So it formed your belief system.
Yeah.
Men are scum, the same thing too. So how come you were able to come to a point where you were able to believe, where you have come to believe that men are scum? So there's something wrong with your belief system.
Yeah.
What if men are scum? Someone that has had experience, for example, and so the person say men are scum. It's because the person has experienced scum now.
We want to try to educate.
All men, but not always a man. No, how do they say that thing? They say
not all men,
but always a man.
Yes, not all men, but always a man.
We're trying to educate skit makers because we know that for you to make skits, you have, or even movies, it has to be relatable. So people must be able to relate to it. It has happened to them before or something. Yeah. But we are now trying to say, just as we are also trying to educate professionals across board, even in the media world, there's something about information delivery. There's a way you can deliver an information in such a way that it will not harm the other person's mental health. So if you believe that men are scum, the men you will keep on meeting in your life will be scumbags.
Then if you believe that women are not loyal, you keep missing.
You continue to meet. Somebody says, can two wrongs make a right?
Are you talking about wrongs in the community or wrong in your own life? You are talking about you when it comes to your own personal life, don't factor in your community. You can completely live a different life from the life in the community.
You can completely live a different life from the life in the community.
All you just need to do is to figure out the formula. There's a formula to it. Your life does not need to follow the life of your environment. You can have a totally separate, different life from the life of your community. So I feel that's where many people are mixing it up. And if you merge the two, it will keep on affecting your mental health. But once you're able to separate the two and you're able to figure out the formula to living a totally different life from the life of your community, you're going to have peace of mind. And you're not going to be bothered about what the outcome will be in 2027 election. Because you will only be feeling for Nigeria. You won't be feeling for yourself. You are sure, you know the formula, you know the pathway. And so the only thing you just be wishing, I just hope Nigeria gets it. Because you can live in Nigeria and be very, very successful. Without bribing anybody, without going through shortcuts, you can actually do it.
I want to go back to that whole conflict thingy and how you said that is an indication of the person's state of mind or person's mental health if they do something and they're not able to apologize. So as somebody that they're now doing it to, what can you do? Because if it's for example, you don't go into relationship because you want them to end, and you know that I'm going to be with this person for a while, or it's like a friendship. I'm going to be. What can you do? How can you act emotionally? Because at the end of the day, it's you that it will affect. And then when it starts affecting you, get to a point where you start staying guarded. You start saying, oh, I just want to go. And I think that's why people say men are scum or women are disloyal, because they are guarding their hearts. They've had a few experiences and they're like, oh, I don't want to put myself through that anymore. So what can you do? Because I see that there are a lot more people that there's this whole thing of, oh, nonchalant. I don't know where people get, this whole attitude of I don't care that is going on. And it means that if you don't care, you are going to be affecting other people that care about you. Because you are going to do things that you're not going to be accountable for, because you're like, oh, I don't really care like that. I just want to do my own thing. So as a person that they are doing all of those things to, what do you do to help that? Especially if you care about them. What do you do to help them?
Okay, number one is that I think many people are not actively involved in the choice of who are the people that end up forming the inner circle of their lives. Because by the time you are intentional about the formation or the membership of the inner circle of your life, it will be very easy for you to apologize because you value the people in your inner circle. You not apologizing talks about how you value the other person. When you value people, it becomes very easy for you to apologize to them because you know the role they play in your life.
There are people that don't. Well, you said something about their state of mental, so it must be that because there are people that they do know that they value those, but for some reason, I'm saying it because I'm a Gen Z and I can see some of those things, maybe from like friends and whatever, and I see that it's not because they don't value you, but I don't know what it is. I don't want to say it's ego. I don't know what exactly it is. You know that you value this person. You know that this person is a great contribution to your life, but for some reason they've convinced themselves that anybody can come into your life and live at any point. So I should be able to live life alone. There's this individualistic mindset again that I can do bad all by myself. I don't really need anybody, even though you care about those people. So some people, they act like it, like they don't care, just because they want to, Also, I think it's also as a result of the fact that they've also had experiences that were not so great. So they're like, oh, I just want to be guarded. So instead of acting as if everything affects me, I'm going to pretend as if it doesn't affect me, even though it affects them. So they know that what they've done is wrong, and they know that this person is a valuable person in their lives. But for some reason, they are not able to apologize. They will just prefer for that relationship to come to an end than for them to apologize.
If I give you 4 million naira every month,
you don't have to say anything else after the. It's okay. That's all.
Will it be very easy for you to apologize to?
Of course. What do you want me to do?
If you give me 4 million naira every month
to
apologize to you,
of course I will.
Because at the end of the day, the money is driving the apology.
Yeah, but will you still apologize?
Yeah. Is somebody going to give me 4 million and apologize?
And I will get to know if your apology is genuine or not. Will you still make genuine apology?
If
and you
It will become
know
because
that
I will
I have
develop
the
there. I will
ability to be able to
tell.
to tell.
Well, I'll develop love for you for giving me the 4 million and then I'll genuinely,
So what I'm saying is that
apologize.
people are not conscious of their own assessment of the value of people that people have in their lives. Because they were not part of the choice.
Yeah.
Choosing the people. Your mom just suddenly became the part of your inner circle just because it's your mom. Whereas your mom does not need to become
a part of the inner circle.
You have to be able to pick people who form your inner circle. And for you to be able to pick people, they need to go through examinations. They need to go through assessment. You were the one that conducted the exam. So how can you conduct an exam choosing people, and then that means that not everybody is not going to be everybody that will have access into your inner circle. And so that means that you are able to control the number of people. So let's say like 2 or 3 people. It's going to be very easy for you because those 2 or 3 people, the role they play in your life. And if you are not genuine in your relationship with them, you know what will happen to you. So all those people that you are saying they are aware, they are not aware. And that's you thinking that human beings are not like robots. Human beings are like robots. We are programmed. So that person that you think is just doing it deliberately, there's something wrong with the programming.
Yes.
So we must always be able to link behavior with mind programming.
Gideon is asking a question. It is at Idiare. It says, "Can apology remove the damage it has caused?"
Yeah, it would. You must look at it from your own perspective, not from the other person. The other person may decide not to accept your apology for one reason or the other.
True.
But the fact that you were able to apologize, what should excite you is that, wow, I have grown. And the fact that you have grown will mean that there will also be growth in every other aspect of your life. That's what you are concerned. That's what you have control over. You don't have control over how the other person gets to see it. The other person may reject it. But the fact that, wow, that was a genuine apology from me. I have changed. I'm changing. I've grown, and I'm getting better. And the reason why your life getting better is important is because it will be reflected. It will ultimately produce success in your life. So that's why we're telling people that don't be carried away with the economy of the country or of your state. Be carried away with your own personal life.
Yeah.
Because when you start growing emotionally, it will reflect in workplace productivity, performance, finances, your physical health, and the rest of that. The drugs you take is meant to steal time so that you can be able to figure out where did your emotions go wrong.
We have a call. Let's hope it's for us. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Gordon. Just question. I want to ask you that question.
Okay.
The damage I am talking about is physical damage. This is me.
Oh,
and then
physical
a guy
damage.
Or somebody caused me to had an accident and eventually have a fracture, permanent fracture on my leg. And that leg is amputated. And his apology now bring my leg back and fix it back for me forever. That is where I'm going.
All right.
Okay.
That is where I say, can that apology bring back the damages it has caused?
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't. So I want you to elaborate on that. Let me know.
Okay.
So, yeah, first of all, if that is actually a real life scenario, I'm very sorry.
I think it is.
I'm very, very sorry about that. So, it's not, in a way, the person's apology, there's a giving of apology. There's also the acceptance of apology. You accepting apology, I've already explained the giving of apology, that I gave a sincere, genuine apology.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow, I have grown. There's also the part of me accepting apology. Oh, before now I was not, I didn't used to like accept apology, but now I me accepting this apology means, oh, I have grown. Me accepting that apology will have tremendous impact on my mental health. Will it bring back the leg of the person? That's another topic entirely. But the impact it will have on your mental health, once your mental health is stable, you can always have whatever you want. Now, what do I mean by that is, like, a practical example is, it can then help you to have an open mind about, okay, how do I get maybe ideas on how to get a leg, ranging from, okay, prosthetic legs, to several other ideas of how you can get to
what opportunities can it present for you?
Yes. So, but if let's say you refuse to accept the apology, it's going to affect your thinking, and it's going to keep on making
keeps
you
in a static position.
Yes, and then it makes you to keep on blaming the other person.
Yes,
and shifting the light on the other person instead of on yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's still your leg. What do you want to do with your life? How you can't keep on blaming the other person for your life. And how did I get here? It has to be that assessment. And then how do I move on from here? It is still my life. I am the chief executive officer of my life. So will it ultimately and generally affect the leg? Yes.
This is very, I think I just wanted to just expand on what you said as to how you need to ensure that when the person apologizes, you also accept the apology. And that in turn helps move your mind from focusing on that actual event, but focusing on what is next for you. Because you have to create space for your mind to be able to start thinking of what's next. If you're consistently filling your mind with what had happened, that's the only thing that would overshadow your mind. And even the ability to heal mentally would not happen until you have accepted the apology and just accept that now this is my life. What is next for me? How do I ensure that my life remains great or move to the next level of where I need to be going forward? Well, fine place to hold it. It's 10:03 already. Dr. Michael, as always dropping germs. We'll be here again next week with Dr. Michael. Same time, same station. Stay locked in.